Willie D Live.
What's up, family? TMZ caught up with famed attorney Ben Crump in New York City, asking him about questions regarding Nolan Wells' investigation. Yeah, well, this had more to do with civil suits that could possibly be filed against him and content creators. Yeah, fam, they're coming after the civil rights attorney for trying to protect a family's civil rights. Who are these guys? So that's Tyler Cox on the left there, and then you got Edward Andrew Paltzik. He is the defamation attorney. Not sure what the other guy does, except get money. But the one on the right, that was Trump's attorney. He helped Trump in the CBS Paramount suit. He also helped sue the New York Times, and it was BBC. BBC, I remember, countersued, and that suit went nowhere. See, and that's all you got to do is follow the script. Like most of these defamation lawsuits that get filed, they're frivolous lawsuits. Most of them are just meant to scare people into silence, right? Now, some are worthy of being, respected, being considered, right? But many more are all about trying to silence people, and this is what is suspected of happening right now in the case of Nolan Rhines and all the people who have a plethora of commentary to add. Now, Ben Crump was asked specifically what he thought about these dudes who say that they were Nolan Wells' friends lawyering up, and Ben Crump said straight up, it's a distraction. I ain't got no problem with that. It's a distraction meant to cause confusion, meant to throw people off their game, meant to perhaps make people stop thinking about the economy. I say to all of the content creators out there, all of the lawyers out there, everybody out there who it just has an opinion about the case, I say stand on business. Stand on business. If they sue you, sue them back. Anybody can sue, just like they can sue. You can countersue. You can go on the offense. You ain't got to be on the defense. You can go on the offense. And one thing about it, those lawsuits cost money, and it also costs money when you're found to be in the wrong. When you're found to be liable, and so you got to pay those attorney fees back. So when you file in these defamation suits, you better make sure you game on. And here's another thing about those defamation suits. When they file a suit, they can't drag you to Mississippi. They got to file the suit in the county you live in, and they got to come to your backyard and prove their case. Yeah, you know. But that's been the history of America. It's always been like that. It's always been like that. I would be very skeptical of anybody who has represented Donald Trump. I would be very skeptical of anybody who has helped him to circumvent the law. Yeah. Now they're coming off like they're really the good guys. They're trying to come off like they're the good guys. Remember the source. I'm wondering, I'm going to find out too. Did Trump refer him? Did Trump say, hey, man, go over there and help those youngsters out, man, who they're trying to say that killed Nolan Wells. Go over there and help them out and tell them I sent you. So if they got Trump attorney, then you already know what type of people they are. If they're using Trump attorney, see, I'd never worked with an attorney that has helped Donald Trump circumvent the law, dig into the pockets of media personalities who were simply just reporting the news. Nah, nah. Ben Crump said it's a distraction. He said that, this is what he said when they caught up with him when TMZ caught up with him in New York City. Crump said that one thing that matters, there's only one thing that matters to him and Nolan's family, and that is getting to the truth about what happened. That's what they want to do. They want to get to the truth about what happened. Ben Crump says calling in such big guns is just noise, and finding out how Nolan died is what's really important. Yeah. So these lawyers say that they're going to go to Horn Island on tomorrow to get a good look at where Nolan disappeared and was found dead. What that's going to do? That's what I want to know. Y'all ain't no investigators, so what you going to do? You're just going to get a good look. You can look at the videos and get a good look. Yeah, you can look at your client's phone and get a good look. I'm looking forward to the day that they have to hire defense attorneys. That's what I want to see. I want to see them hire some defense attorneys. Worry about these grocery prices going up. Worry about the pain at the pump. Health care, child care, mortgage rates, rental rates. The price of everything, has skyrocketed. And I do believe that, I think that the fact that they hired a Trump attorney was definitely strategic. It was definitely strategic. And it is meant to try to intimidate. I think that's what they're trying to do. Trying to intimidate. Now, you tell me how that works if Trump runs the FBI, who is arresting people on one side for threats, but not the other side. And now they bring in Trump's attorney to act on their behalf in going after content creators and lawyers for speaking on the case and commenting whether evidence is taking them. So they go out and get a Trump attorney. Now, what is that? What are people supposed to make of that? There has to be something there in the form of a distraction. And perhaps they're bringing in Trump attorneys because that is a Republican county. Bring in Trump attorneys. Now you got the people in Mississippi, all of the officials in Mississippi, they're getting even more support because we know Trump is supportive of the people who are being accused of harming Nolan Wells. We know that. We know that for a fact. If you just had to take a guess, which side would Trump err on in regards to this Nolan Wells investigation? You already know your answer. He's definitely going to ride for Nolan Wells' so-called friends. Now, here's the deal. If Nolan Wells' friends was acting like true friends, they wouldn't have to worry about getting lawyers because nobody would be talking about them like they're talking about them. Warren Hudson, Jack Patello, Patello, Morgan Seymour, they all enlisted the help of attorney J. Tyler Cox and defamation lawyer Edward Andrew Paltzik. That's the one, the Paltzik dude is the defamation lawyer. He's the one that is going to go after everybody. I wonder what that'll look like. What if everybody countersued? What would that look like? They'll be trying to get out of that courtroom sometime in 2065. Personally, I don't think that content creators and lawyers have anything to really fear. I don't think that none of these people, because that was set of precedents that nobody want to deal with. If they could get away with that, you might as well shut down the entire freedom of speech. You might as well shut down journalism altogether. That's why ABC brought Jimmy Kimmel back. That's why it was so many journalists standing on behalf of John Lemon. And that's why they're not going to be able to convict Don Lemon. Because if they convict Don Lemon, it's a wrap. It's over for all press. Ain't no such thing as free press. And free press ain't already ain't free anyway, free press, because there's a lot of liability come with that. That's why you see retractions all the time in the media. When the media get it wrong, or they put out some misinformation, they retract. But when they report on something that they are passionate about or something that they have facts on, they stand on business. And it's a fine line, but it's one that the media tightropes on a daily basis. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. No more talk.